Hey, so here's the bike. I'm getting ready for trying to get ready for my trip to Boston and Pennsylvania. It's a 1995 1100 GS BMW, and it started out having there were plastic chunks that came out of the oil drain plug hole, and I researched that, and apparently it was the cam chain rails were broken and fractured because the tensioner was not upgraded after BMW announced that it was a faulty. They installed faulty tensioners. They didn't recall it, but they announced it, so it should have been replaced, but it wasn't. So the cam chain rails were broken, so I had to remove the transmission, remove the cylinders and the pistons to get to that, to change those, and I did that over a couple weeks after having the bike sit for like 7 or 8 months because I was in school. So I did the cam chains, put it all back together, and the main seal on the motor started leaking. So I took it all apart, and I'm waiting on the BMW shops, which open tomorrow, to buy a new main seal. And then while I was doing that, I noticed that my master cylinder on my front brake was leaking, so I'm digging into that right now too. So here's what I got. Here's the main seal. I pried it out, so it's a little funky looking. You can see there it is. It's pretty big. It's just plastic, and it's a little hard to tell where the bike was leaking oil from, but you can see the oil marks all over the whole sealing surface of this main seal. So I'm pretty sure that's where it was leaking from. The other points it could have been leaking from are this pin, which it's a pivot pin for the cam chain rails. So since I pounded that out to get the new rails in, and then pounded that out to get the old rails out, and then pounded it back in with the new rails, that could have been a point of leaking, a point it could have leaked from. But it looks like it's most likely the main seal. So I'm going to go with that first. And then over here, this is the main seal. Sorry, not the main seal, the master cylinder for the brakes. And you can see, hopefully you can see how, there we go. It's a little gummy around the surface. You can definitely see that the brake fluid has eaten away at the paint around the surface there, and camera's not picking it up very well, but there's some yellowish kind of gunk in there on the right and on the left. That's, I guess, just like built up crap from the years of it working and getting old, whatever. It's a 1995 bike, so it's not the newest bike in the world, but it's definitely leaking from that piston there. So I'm going to have to buy a rebuild kit for that. Hopefully they have those in stock. I'll see tomorrow. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. There we go. Just focus. It's kind of crazy working on this bike when right now it's Monday night. It's like 11 something. Monday night. And I originally planned to leave for this trip last Friday, but I got the bike back together like Friday night, and then the main seal was leaking, so I had to dig into that, and obviously we're having more problems now, and BMW shops, I don't know what the deal is with them, but they're all the ones in the Bay Area are open, or are closed on Sunday and Monday, which is kind of odd and a bummer, because if you need parts you have to wait. So I've been waiting, and it's Monday night, so hopefully tomorrow I'll get the parts that I need, and then I can hit the road. So I guess once I hit the road, I'll make some more videos talking about where I've been and what I've been doing, just for kicks. I'm sure I'll get bored because it's going to be a solo trip. I'm going to be visiting a lot of friends and family, but the riding's all going to be solo. So we'll see how all that goes. I guess another thing I did to the bike while I was waiting for parts was install this rear rack It's a Givi, I think it was. This is the brand, Givi rear rack. And then I bought Pelican cases a long time ago that I just never mounted. There's one there. And then I have two that go on the side. They're huge, that provide a lot of storage. And then there's quick release fittings with locks to lock the panniers, the side cases, on, and quick release them off. So that'll be pretty good for traveling. It should be a good setup once I get the whole bike working. Got a nice tall aftermarket windscreen on there, and there's some crash bars as well. Those are what are they? SW Motec crash bars. They've seen better days. They've done their job. They've been pretty good, actually. Made it through Baja. A couple crashes in Baja. Those were good though. One more thing I'll show you is the boxes that I have. And I rigged them up with the quick release stuff. I needed to do some spacers on one side to get symmetrical boxes, because the rack in the back for the bike is not symmetrical, because it's wider on one side because of the exhaust, and then it's narrower to the middle of the bike on the other side. But I wanted both wanted the boxes to sit symmetrically on the bike, and I also wanted to mount my top case lower, as low as possible. And so I put these spacers on this, but it's really nice hardware. Caribou brand. Really nice, solid feeling lock, and pretty good mount for the Givi rack. So I'm starting to pack here a little bit. I got some camping stuff over there, and just starting to collect a little journal to write my notes and stuff on the trip, so I can make a ride report when I get back, and some other stuff. I've got my camping tent, sleeping bag, and sleeping pads, and I've got a bunch of old MREs. They're designed to last for a long time, but these ones are getting a little bit older, so I figured I'd take them on the trip and try to use a lot of them. I bought them for dirt biking, and then I sold my dirt bike, so haven't had a chance to use them. Another thing I did was I modded my helmet a little bit to better suit my communication system that I have on the BMW. I forget the brand. It was like Auto something. I'll talk about it later. But I can't remember what I did with my helmet. I think it's up in my room, so I'll talk about that later. But it should be good. Stuff's starting to line up here. I'm just kind of waiting on parts to fix the bike, put it all back together, and hopefully there's no other problems and I can hit the road. I'll see you guys later.